But Jensen's coming out now. From Denmark, 100 kilos.
Yeah, she's one of 3 kilos with 3 athletes with 100 kilos written in.
Pretty good pull, but it was a little forward on the turnover. Just barely gets under that one.
Yeah, she looks comfortable. She's only competed internationally once in her career. It was the World Championships last year, and she snatched 100 kilos there too. So to be opening up at that weight bodes well for her last year of training. 25 years of age.
Another change, 101 kilos, please, loaders.
So Regina Adashbaeva now at 101. Athletes are bumping up as you'd expect. Norway's Solfrid Koanda has put in 112 kilos. We expect that to probably be the... I mean, that could well be the... after everybody else is finished.
Yeah, it could be that she has 3 attempts all to herself.
Is Adashbaeva now from Uzbekistan. Some of the Uzbekistan women have the slowest pulls in weightlifting. Not all of them, but we'll see if Adashbaeva joins that group. This her 6th international. Best snatch of 103. Very heavy. That's a pretty good lift.
Yeah, pretty solid opener.
Yep. You know, as she stood up, the bar moved away from her a little bit, so she had to take a step, but that looked quite comfortable.
Loaders, please, 102 kilos.
So she gets the automatic increase because Young went up 103. We got a 2-minute clock though. I don't think she's going to take that 1 kilo jump. Yeah, she's bumping up here. Next lifter out is probably going to be Jung.
Well, we just got done watching a truly spectacular 81 kilo session. One of the most exciting sessions we've seen. I mean, arguably the most exciting even. Certainly one of them of this World Championships. We saw a world record. We've been fortunate enough to have several world records now. 3 of them coming from Chinese athletes at this World Championships. Here's A-ram's opening attempt. She hit 100 kilos in the warm-up room, looking very strong.
Well, let's go to the bar. Rolls into that bumper. The bar. I guess
the loaders were very quick.
Yeah. The loaders have been exceptional here.
Yeah, they really have been.
Really quick, really professional. Very well coordinated. We even had the pleasure of watching some of them do a little training session.
Yeah. Well, they're all pretty good lifters.
During the brat, yeah. Yeah, some of them have, you know, somewhere in the range 300 kilo totals on them. Saudi Arabia actually, should be noted that their weightlifting team is coming up a lot. They have their own sort of, I guess, mini Olympics, the Saudi Games, which hosts many sports. Weightlifting being part of that. It's an abbreviated competition. Only 4 weight classes are contested, but they are wildly...
4 men, 4 women.
Yeah, 4 men, 4 women. Wildly popular amongst the Saudis. We've met a lot of the athletes who intend to compete in that. I believe it's in about 3 months, 2 or 3 months.
Well, there's a lot of money on the line, Max.
Yeah, a lot of money. I think $1 million. I guess, what are they called? SAR? Saudi.
Yeah. It's about $250,000 per winner.
$250 for first, $100,000 for second, and $30,000 US for third.
Yeah, this is yearly.
What I've been told. Yeah.
So if you're, you know, the best Saudi athlete in your category by some way, you can
I was informed
compete
that,
for 8 years in a row, right? Win $2 million.
Yeah, I was informed that there's actually prize money for local meets in a lot of situations, $1,000 or so, US.
I think a lot of the listeners are booking flights as we speak. Come out to Riyadh.
Bring your sunscreen. Yeah, much better. Yeah. You know, she doesn't move her feet too much off the floor. She brings up arm to hip, does a loop around just a little bit, but very nice lift for her.
Yeah, she doesn't catch the bar behind her head, but, you know, at the same time she sort of looks up a little bit. Her chin's up in the catch, so it's visually doesn't look like it's as far locked behind her, but it's pretty secure. You know, Max, you say bring your sunscreen if you're coming out here, but the truth of it is you basically don't go outside, so you really don't need any.
Yeah.
You know, I've used more sun cream in the UK than I have in Riyadh.
That's saying a lot, too.
You know, today prior to this session, we took, I don't know, is it 10 minutes walk to the Starbucks where we did a little bit of work, a little bit of preparation for today's sessions. And that's about as much sun as you're going to get.
Yeah, the heat is ever present.
Although a little bit chilly in the Starbucks. They really blast that aircon.
Yeah, well,
they want to keep you moving.
Yeah, it's
they want a constant flow of customers.
A dichotomy here of the desert. 104, Anastasiia, second attempt. Yeah, there's that telltale slow kind of pull off the floor.
Forward from the floor as well.
Her body weight was shifting to her toes far too early.
Please, 104 kilos.
So 104 stays on the bar. This would be a repeat for Anastasiia.
Armenian next.
Potentially, if she bumps a kilo, it would give her a long wait. I don't know if she's walking pretty far back there. Yep, and they are.
We've seen videos of a few athletes making 95 in the back room, looking very comfortable. The Colombian Moreno has snatched 95 and loaded 102. Looks like we have Tatev Hakobian now coming out. Coach always has that cap on. We mention this almost every competition. I don't know if he's ever taken it off. It's always placed just on the top of his head.
It's immaculate.
Yeah.
The positioning. 105 Hakobian. You know, again, a little bit early and a big swing and loop at the top of the pole there.
Well, she's opening a weight that, well, she's hit it, you know, 7 times internationally, but she's never surpassed 105. You know, so she is actually opening up at basically the most she's ever been able to make on a competition platform. Very risky.
Yes, very, very aggressive strategy. Although looking at the session, look at the lineup, you know, possibly looking to try and medal there. Oshudian now, 105. We'll see if she stays there. Yep, here she is. Opening lift at 105.
She made this in the back room.
Ooh, little forward.
Yeah, I think.
To walk it out. I wonder if that's going to be
about her left elbow.
A red, yeah, 3 reds.
That's a shame. Yeah, when it's that forward, it's difficult not only to hold the lockout, but also, of course, to get up with it. Hence the run. Looks like, is that a challenge card being played, or did the coach just decide to walk further out onto the
I don't think they're going to
field of play? No. Bizarre movement there. He went the wrong direction.
Nope, they've got the wrong athlete. They announced the wrong athlete.
Yeah.
This is Valdez from Chile at 105. same mistake we're
Yeah,
seeing from a lot of these athletes. As they pull off the floor, the bar travels forward a little bit, and it stays there as they make that transition into the hip.
I mean, is there something about, perhaps you can explain this a little bit, Max, I wonder, as the weight categories go up, you know, pulling in becomes a little bit more difficult as there's more body mass in the way, perhaps? Or it's easier to sort of counterbalance the weight going up front because you have more weight behind the bar or something like that?
There was research done on the bar path, the 2015 World Championships, which showed many different bar paths that can be successful.
I think there were 3 identified.
I think
something
three to five, I think.
Oh, right.
And some of them, as the athlete's body mass increases, the bar may travel forward immediately off the floor, but still be a successful bar path. And so it's not unusual or impossible. It's just that obviously the right things need to take place later in the pull to make sure the bar gets to where you need it to be.
Yep, got to come back in.
Yeah, almost the same kind of thing.
That was just very slow. You know, hips rose a little bit quick there. And when you see the hips rise like that, you know, the legs have extended almost entirely. Knees are near locked out, and the bars only move 10 centimeters, and then you're just reliant on all of your hips, lower back, glutes, hamstrings to really accelerate and finish. It's not an easy place to be. If you're going to use those legs, you want to make sure it transitions onto the bar.
So Hakobian here repeating the 105. This is her best snatch we've seen.
Much better.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, just way more powerful. And again, she actually catches it with the bar in front of her head, and then you know, there's this horizontal movement as the bar lands and then moves back behind her.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that come into play to make sure the bar actually ends up where it belongs. Obviously, the initial trajectory of the bar off the floor, how much of an interaction there is between the athlete and the barbell as they turn it over. Do they stay connected well? Do they have a good feel for that?
The battle between the 2 Armenian women will be interesting. Both missed 105 on their openers. Hakobian just made it. Can Hripsimi also make this lift now? She looks stronger. She pulls quicker.
Yep,
and
there it is.
More convincing as well.
Okay, so both Armenian athletes now on the board at 105. Rashidian is second, or behind Tatev.
You know, to be this early on in the competition, and we've seen more misses than makes, it potentially shows what we've spoken about before, where there's this runaway winner in Solfrid Koanda who will be 20 plus kilos, maybe 30 kilos ahead of the rest by the end of the session. And they all recognize that actually any of them could take the silver or the bronze.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to go big. And so these heavy openers, we're seeing a lot of misses.
Valdez here for Chile. Wow, very strong. That was much more powerful than the first.
Well, you know, all these athletes who missed on their opening attempts, they're doing similar things on the second, but
just putting more energy into it.
Yeah, there's more energy. I mean, the speed that came off the hips is just so much better.
Yeah. You know, the downside there is that at some point you just run out of the ability to keep pulling harder or being more aggressive. All right, so Jensen is the lifter currently at 105. This would be her third attempt. She missed 105 before on her second.
Yeah.
She's going to have to come back and make this.
We've just seen 102 in the back room for the Colombian, looking very strong, great lockout, a lot of power. She's asking for 106 for her opener. But Jensen will be out first. It's her third attempt. 105.
First pull was pretty good. She made the opener at 100, but it was a little bit forward. Second one was even more so.
That's only her second ever international, and this will be a 5 kilo competition best.
If she can be patient enough and bring that bar all the way back. Oh, look at that.
Oh, my word. I mean, the hip still rose very early, but she did just enough speed.
Yep. Not the best technique, but all of the commitment you could possibly need to make a lift. She went for it.
It almost feels like there's a bit of a lunge at the end.
Yeah.
Lunge to pull the bar higher and get under, but she makes it. I mean, it's a great day, 2 for 3 personal bests. And you know, as a taller athlete, you have a tendency to move like that. You know, the hips will tend to come up a little bit more as you bias your hip extension over knee extension. But even though so, it's still something that can be worked on, and there's a lot of potential there.
Anastasiia Manievska now, 106.
Well, she made 102 in the back room. She's ready for this. Ukraine, of course, one of, I think it's 5 countries right now who ought to be ineligible to compete at the. You have 3 failed drug tests between Olympics. You're out. It's a good lift.
Huge pull, but she was way forward on the toes there. But wow, a lot of power.
Looks like she's hurt her back a little bit. She walked off looking a little bit. She walked off a little bit gingerly and then has put both hands on her back. It is worth mentioning, of course, that Anastasiia Manievska has not failed a drugs test. Just to be clear, it's just 3 within the Ukrainian team.
Yeinny Moreno now opening at 106. We saw her make 102 as her last warm-up.
Yeah.
In the warm-up room.
Well, she hit 102 and then she dropped down and hit 100 just because she'd warmed up a little bit early. Both of those lifts looked very, very comfortable. Hopefully that translates to her opening attempt now. It doesn't.
You know, almost every athlete here making very similar mistakes. You see a lot of speed or power, the pull coming off the ground, but the bars,
that a hop back? Was that
yeah,
one maybe?
The bar is generally traveling around their knees a little bit too much, meaning that they're not really getting the bar to move backwards towards them over the back of the foot as it approaches that explosion, that power position. So while it's strong, while it's fast, while it's powerful, it doesn't end up where it needs to.
A question for you, Max. If the bar is going around the knees, but it still comes back in, I assume that it has to come back in at a stronger angle, which would then mean that there's almost more of a clash with the hips when it does finally meet the hips, because it's not been coming back over such a long sort of vertical period, if that makes sense.
Yeah, potentially that S curve is less flat the more it moves forward off the ground.
So 106 now for Moreno. She's going to have to follow herself there. It's amazing what can happen. You know, 102 kilos in the back room looked great. She then dropped down to 100. That also looked good. And then she comes out for 106, and it's just not there. A little hop back.
Oh, she's running the clock down. She's going to take this. She really wouldn't have anywhere to go. She's the second. Well, this 106 is her second. We do have Chile in at 106 and Uzbekistan at 106.
Well, Ying-yuan from Taipei has just hit 108 kilos in the back room. I think she's probably the front runner of the trailing pack behind Solfrid.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, has just snatched 75, has 85 loaded. She's still got a fair few attempts until she comes out.
All right. Moreno's second attempt, 106. Looped it first on the first one. She's got to bring it back in better, move the bar past her knees a little bit better. Whoa.
It's not a good position to be in, but she's opening heavy. I mean, when we spoke to her, she said, the most I've hit this year is 105. So to be opening with a personal best for the year, you know, she did mention she's had no injuries, she's been focusing on her technique, but even so, it's a lot of pressure to open at a personal best.
Yeah, you know, and we've talked about this before, but these sessions that are non-Olympic classes, they've basically all the top talent has started to vacate the class. So it leaves them wide open with a broad group of athletes that are really tightly matched. They're so closely matched that everyone starts to get a little bit too aggressive, and then they end up missing, and it becomes, you know, potentially a pretty tumultuous session overall. Adeshbayeva's only made her opener at 101. So this would bump her up 5 kilos. She'd be the first at 106. If successful, this would give her a very good positioning in the snatch. Slow.
Yeah.
Slow and forward again.
Slow and forward. So she'll make her opener at 101, and that's going to be it for Adashbayeva. So from what I hear, Ying-yuan has moved to the tunnel and is ready to go out, but I'm not sure it'll be her attempt yet, although after a few bumps up from some of these athletes, she will be out soon. I think we'll see a couple of athletes bump up, and it will loop all the way back around to Jung.
So 106 stays in the bar. Moreno needs this to be able to make a total. Best, like we said, best is 105 this year. This is a kilo up on that. She tried to open here. She has power, she has speed. It's just a matter of getting the bar to stay where she needs it to stay. You can see she's really taking her time to focus and concentrate on the technique. Not get too excited. Although, right as I say that, she lets out a blood-curdling scream.
Well, 111 she made last year at the Pan American Championship. She took the silver medal there.
Can she clean it up?
Yes, she can.
She's done it.
There we go. And she's in the running. She's definitely in the running now for a medal in the total, because she does have a good clean and jerk.
She's very frustrated. I mean, she's missing so much on her total there, only having made 1 snatch. Although currently she sits in the lead with that 106. We know that's not going to hold, but we'll see what everyone else can do.
Yeah. Jung, final attempt. She missed when it's run at opener. On her second attempt, it looked better. She's not the fastest athlete, and she does catch it a little bit out in front. So a 4 kilo jump certainly feels quite aggressive.
Yeah, well,
as a strategy.
This would bump her ahead of Moreno if she makes it. It'd put her in a potentially...
Could be a medal spot.
Yeah,
It could
potentially
be.
a spot for a medal.
Probably unlikely, but it could.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
The best of the 3.
Well, she really just turned it on. I mean, that was by far the most aggressive, quick.
Gives a little cheer there, fist pump.
Yeah. It's a double fist pump. It's good to see.
So 108 now. Ying-yuan here. This is her opener. Points to both her elbows. Lets the refs know about her lockout situation.
Now, she made this in the back room. One of those athletes who favors hitting a snatch opener before she comes out, just to feel that level of confidence. 110 is her best internationally. She's made that twice. Oh, that was much nicer than she made it in the back room.
Very strong.
Well, she really is strong enough to be the silver medalist in this competition. Certainly the bronze. But she's going to have to make lists. But she's come out and made a statement there. The second heaviest opener, we'll see.
So Manievska is calling for the same 108.
They've got the wrong name there.
Yeah.
Well, wrong athlete at least coming out.
Yeah, that's Tatev.
Has
Hakabian.
It should still be.
I think.
No.
Manievska's staying at the 108. An interesting move, because this would just...
Well, she's got 2 attempts left.
She does, yeah.
You know, she's got a good clean and jerk, so she might be thinking about totals as well.
She did look to be one of the stronger athletes as well. Made that opener pretty solidly.
Oh, stood up a little bit early.
Yeah,
If she'd have had the presence of mind, Max, to sit there a little longer and balance out, she might have been able to get up with that, but she just rushed the stand, and you know, the bar was still moving backwards and she started moving forwards and upwards.
Yeah, pushed her chest down and forward to try and balance it out. Koanda here, 108. She's going to take the same weight.
Well, this is enormous for Koanda. That'd be a big personal best, 3 kilos if she makes it. She's just very slow and hesitant, you know, as she turns over and pushes herself through the bar. She looks almost like there's a certain level of wincing about getting that bar back behind her.
You know, that pull being so much more of a loop at the top, getting her shoulders so much further behind, having a big overextension, really kind of precludes you from having a more vertical extension at the top.
Right.
So you're always fighting that turnover. Koanda here, 108. She made 105. This would.
Well, don't forget she made 128 back in 2012, was it?
Yeah, a little bit different athlete back then.
Yeah.
Well, forward, she jumps forward, leaves the bar behind.
And there was a little press out on her elbow anyway. Yeah, it was a different time. Of course, she served a ban from 2008 to 16.
Yeah, one of the very long ban. The rules changed. It used to be second offense was a lifetime ban, lifetime sanction.
Yeah.
That changed to 8 years, which actually brought out a few athletes that were essentially done but had maybe 1 or 2 more meets in their career. Saeed Ali Husseini being one of those. We had a chance to see him compete in Anaheim 2017.
Right. Here's
Valdez from Chile, 108. This would tie Ying-yuan, who made 108 on our opener.
Oh.
Yeah, again, a big swing and just forward. Not getting that bar up and back behind the head enough. So another athlete calling for 108. Manievska from Ukraine. This lift will be the last of this pack.
Yeah.
Really below what we think is going to be silver and what we pretty much know is going to be gold.
Well, I wonder if Solfrid's actually going to go up, because she just made 108 kilos in the back room, but then loaded 112.
Yeah, I think she's probably going to open above that 112.
She might hit it.
Yeah,
the back room will come out. You know,
yeah.
she's, believe it or not, she's still relatively new to the sport.
Yeah.
Hitting a back room opener wouldn't be totally unheard of for her.
Manievska, 108.
Got to be patient.
Oh, she's got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, that's just
that's
not
unfortunate.
Good to see.
Oh.
Oh dear, that's bad. They need to get medical staff up very quickly for her.
Oh.
And rush her off the platform, because she needs to go and needs to get that elbow looked to. That's really horrible to see.
That's really unfortunate. We'd never want to see that. She held on and fought that as much as possible, but
that's the worst injury so far at this World Championships. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. You never like to see anything like that. She fought for it. Somehow she's...
Yeah, it was definitely a
total dislocation.
A dislocation for sure.
Of the elbow.
That is really sad to see.
She held up for so long. She was holding it as the bar was rotating overhead, just behind her, and it went too far, and she didn't let go. That is really brutal. And of course that does psychologically affect the other athletes.
Ying-yuan now at 110. Her second attempt.
108 opener looked very, very good. This is a big lift for her. Equals her best. Wow, brilliant. Sinks down. You know, the bar was moving back, but she fought it. Little wry smile as she stood up.
Yeah, very nice save. She got one red there, but...
Yeah, it looked good to me.
Now the interesting question, what does Koanda take on the opener?
Yeah, does she come out for this, or does she go up? Well, her international best is 117. We know that she likes to lift more every single competition that she comes to. This one will be no exception. She snatched 120 in the training hall. So we'll see.
So we have both athletes now changing. Koanda's moving up as well. Wow. Like maybe 115?
Surely not. I mean, we did film and upload a video of her on the Weightlifting House Instagram just a few hours ago where she went 107, 111, 115, 118, 120.
So she moved to 15. Ying-yuan now 112 is the lifter. She possibly will scoot down from there if she doesn't want to open at 15.
115 is just
That's huge.
So heavy for an opening attempt. But she has to keep up with the top 81s in the world. She will, of course, move down to the 81s for the Olympics. She's already ranked high enough to go. But she has to keep up with some of those top totals. We just saw 276 from China. 281, I think it was,
281, massive total.
This is a personal best. She made 110 at the Asian Championships in May. Wow. Oh, that's just brilliant. Wonderful lifting there by Ying-yuan.
3 whites as well, improved on the last one. So 115 now, Solfrid Koanda will be the lifter. This is a monumental opener for her.
Yeah.
Last competition, she only made 116. Prior to that, last year, we saw her make 117.
Well, during one of her light training sessions, I went over and had a chat about this competition and future competitions. I was just interested to know, at what point do you fully commit to dropping down to 81? And she said not yet. She said she might do one more competition at 81 prior to the Olympics.
Yeah.
But she might not. She might just wait until, July of next year for the Olympic Games. She's basically guaranteed a qualification based on
that's
having
not
lifted well at the 81s already.
Not a bad strategy because she'd have a lot of time to continue improving.
Yeah.
As soon as she starts making that cut down, everything's going to become harder to get. The physical strength and all those qualities are going to be harder to develop. So 115, really big opener for Koanda here.
10 seconds. Very forward.
Yeah, not a great start there. She left
did
it front.
At the European Championships, missed opening attempt. Nerves. That didn't look particularly convincing.
She's one of those lifters, though. She's relatively new. You can see a lift look like that, and then the next one afterwards, she actually puts some heat on the bar.
Yeah.
It moves, but it's not a great spot.
Even in the training hall, we saw her miss. We even saw her miss 111 a few times.
Yeah.
On her first day in the training hall, and then we saw her miss 118 and maybe just 118 on her way up to the 120. What are they doing here?
Probably declaring 15. That would be the smart move here.
Yeah.
That would give them the ability to make adjustment if they really want. But she definitely just needs to make a lift, and she'll be basically working her way towards being a world champion. I mean, this lift would put her in gold easily, and then she'd make one clean and jerk and be done, be another world champion. So she's got a minute left now.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure that she puts on herself by opening up so heavy. You know, she doesn't need to open there to become a world champion. You know, really, with so much strength and consistency in the clean and jerk, she could just hit like 110 or 105. She could probably win with a 100 kilo snatch.
Yeah, I think she'd definitely want to take that gold in the snatch as well, but you know, she waits till the last minute here before she goes, last seconds. So she's not even on the bar until about 20 seconds left.
So the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Oh,
overdid it, pushed it behind.
Yeah, this is
one in front, one behind. Hopefully the third is in place, because that would be a major
upset.
Well,
you saw it right from the floor. It was a different lift.
Yeah.
It had more, as you call it, Max, a bit more heat on it, a little bit quicker, and it came back in off the floor even more.
Yeah.
And it continued moving that direction the whole way until it was eventually lost behind her.
Yeah, not a great spot to be in by any means. Yep, they're going to declare 15 again.
Yeah.
You know, she's a little more tired, a little more anxious now. This is the one she needs. Only thing really more anxiety-inducing than missing your opener, missing your opener and missing your second. You know, when you're the front runner as well. But we did see this at Europeans, right?
Well, she missed just her first at Europeans. Then she made a second plus a big jump to a third. We did see it in the following category at the European Championships of Emily Campbell, though. She missed her first two snatches, made her third, and then went on to win. And this will be Solfrid's 5th straight international win if she can make this snatch.
Coach giving basically the best advice he can there.
Just punch it out, it looked like he said.
Make this.
It's a lot of pressure. You know, it's one of the easiest wins of the entire World Championships for an athlete. She's so far ahead, really, in terms of what she has hit internationally, what she's been hitting in the training hall, her capabilities. And yet, she's missed her first two lifts now at 115 kilos. If she misses this, then suddenly, I mean, it throws a real spanner in the works, and we're going to see a new champion. If she makes this, it's game over for everyone else. Oh, she
so
almost
close.
hurts herself too.
What an absolute upset. What a shock. You know, she just bit off more than she could chew on that opening attempt. 115, really unnecessarily heavy to win this. That is a shame.
Yeah, I wonder what she's going to do. I mean, she's, you know, knowing her as you know, as little as I do, but you know, I've had several conversations with her. I imagine she will clean and jerk, because she can get a gold medal and she can go for a personal best in the clean and jerk.
That's true.
You know, her international record is 155. So she can open up in the sort of low 140s for a gold medal in the clean and jerk, and then take whatever jumps and records she wants to go for.
Yeah,
but we're going to see a new world champion, and I think it's going to be Ying-yuan.
Yeah, very, very possible. 112.
The one thing that
Young,
9 of these... Who, sorry?
So Young actually...
Yeah,
107. That 107 held up.
Yeah. If there's one thing that these other 9 athletes could have hoped for, it was that Solfrid would miss her snatches. But it's just such a shame when it's...
Well...
When she could have... You know, she really it would have been a silly move, but she could have snatched 100 kilos and won this still.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, that's a...
Why not at least...
I'm surprised she didn't take
113.
113 would have, we're...
But, we've seen her snatch over 120 in training multiple times. Yeah. So, to her, 115 might have felt like the conservative opener, and maybe it was. Perhaps it was, and it was just she's had a fluke 3 misses in the snatch.
Well, here's the question now. We have a little bit of a different field going into the clean and jerk. Obviously,
totally.
Solfrid's out. She's going to clean and jerk, but her lifts won't count. She'll be the end anyways. One athlete has been injured, unfortunately. She's out. And now there could be very much a panic, even more so than before, where everyone thinks if they can take that clean and jerk, they might have a shot at being a medalist where they maybe didn't before. That bronze medal in the total is going to be, it could be a very bloody battle to get there.
Well, Ying-yuan can clean and jerk in the low 30s. And, 133 is her best, but she's in her best shape now. Yeah. This is the best we've ever seen her. So, pushing up into the mid-130s is definitely possible for her. Jung A-ram is going to be the athlete who looks to move ahead of her. We don't really know what she can do. She's only competed once before, and it was 5 years ago at the Asian Junior Championships, and she snatched 95 there. She just snatched 107, so she's in a whole nother world of abilities, and she's asked for 135 for that opener.
Yeah, she stays at 35. Well, she stays at 35 and opens there. Yeah, potentially she could.
Oh, she could definitely
creep up into the gold position or have a fight at it at least.
She's a medaler.
Yeah.
She's looking for the medal, that's for sure.
We've also got Colombia as well.
Yeah.
Moreno's got 30. We've got basically 4 athletes in, all at 130 with varying snatches. Well, really 105 to 106. But, what can they do in the clean and jerk? Can they make up that extra, multiple kilos are going to be behind, 5-7 kilos behind gold in the snatch?
So we did receive some footage of Solfrid's lifting in the back room prior to her missing all of her snatches. A 108 snatch that looked very, very effortless.
It was strong, just a tiny bit forward as well. You could see she's rushing that pull a little bit.
112.
112 was very solid.
Very solid, and then, 115, it's all misses.
Yeah, many times we don't have the luxury of seeing what's going on in the back, so we don't really know what was the right call, what was a call that was asked for. We've seen athletes come onto the platform taking a weight that's, seemingly really heavy like that, and then, bombing out. And the question we ask ourselves is, what was their last warm-up like? What did it look like? What were they doing back there that justified that kind of jump? That 112 looked solid. She looked pretty good there. Mm-hmm. Not rough enough that it would have justified really lowering that weight. Just unfortunate that she couldn't put together the technique.
Solfrid looks as though she's going to continue on in the competition, which is
that's good.
Good news. She's certainly not taking her shoes off or anything like that, so we will still hopefully see some monstrous clean and jerks in this session. The world standard is 164. She'd need 165 to beat that. I don't know if
that would be absolutely incredible.
Might be, that could be a touch too much. You could almost fathom that she might attempt 160.
I could see the 160. She has a chance here to push. She's probably peaked for this meet. She may want to test and see where she's really at. It really doesn't impact her Olympic journey.
No, not at all.
It's just unfortunate to see her not make that podium in the total.
I can see 110 there for the Danish lifter and Jensen. Power jerk. Looks very comfortable. She did 105 before that as well. Colombia's at 65. Ying-yuan still just pacing around on the platform. No weight there at all. She doesn't need to start really warming up for a while. What do you think that is on her platform? Behind Lo Ying-yuan, there's a... Oh, it's just a 5 that's off the platform. I thought there was... That looked like the saucepan or something, but it's just my eyes are deceiving me entirely there.
You know, we've seen athletes, if you've been in the weigh-ins at these competitions, every athlete brings something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Some athletes bring prepackaged meals.
I think it's a rule. You've all got to bring something unique.
Yeah, yeah. And so one of the interesting things when I was coaching, having athletes weigh in, all the Chinese athletes would bring, they bring a whole bunch of apparatus to cook. They'd usually be making rice and other, soups and whatnot.
For after weigh-in.
Yeah, for after weigh-in, yeah. It's always interesting. And it kind of makes sense, they've probably practiced that routine over and over to a team that definitely has a massive support network. Yeah. Probably as many, if not more, staff than actual athletes here, which is always interesting. But yeah, as you say, it looks like a saucepan, possibly.
Well, I was in conversation with Sergei Putsov, who used to compete for Ukraine, and now, of course, is a regular at these internationals. And he was saying that with Team China, it's almost like each athlete has a coach and then a helper. Yeah. There's someone who's coaching them and talking to them about what they're going to do. Then there's somebody who walks up and down their back, basically.
Yeah, a lot of massage being delivered via the bottom of the feet.
Yeah. 115 on the bar there. We can see for Ann Jensen on the left-hand side of your screen.
I imagine she'll bump from that 118 then.
Yeah, probably up to 120. Let's see how the power jack looks.
Yeah,
very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I can see 20 kilos being loaded either side of Solfrid's bar, so that's good news. They wouldn't be doing that for no reason.
So just at 1 minute and 30 seconds before we get on to the clean and jerk portion of this session. You can see there one withdrawal from injury, and then as well Koanda not going to build the total.
Well, oddly enough, Manievska, who it looked ever so much like she really just dislocated her elbow in a horrible way. In the back room, she was clutching her wrist and didn't seem to be in that much pain.
Wow.
She has, of course, withdrawn, but so oftentimes, there's an adrenaline rush, and the pain that you feel is, almost removed to some degree because of the just the immensity and almost horror of the moment.
Yeah.
You sort of don't feel it as much.
I wonder if some of that pain in the wrist is just referred from the elbow or radiates down.
It definitely was the elbow that went in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. That's the third, I want to say the third elbow injury we've had this competition.
Is it? I thought we'd had 2.
We had a 55-kilo male from the USA rise now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we went there to see that.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah. Gosh, that feels like a long time ago.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
That's true.
That feels like that could be a few months ago. We've been here so long.
Yeah, almost a different competition.
Yeah. I arrived in August.
And you'll leave in October.
Well, by the time I'm home, it's going to be, I'll have missed autumn. It's going to be winter. I left in summer, and I returned, and there were no leaves left.
Yeah, you left in summer, and it'll be Halloween, Halloween spirit stores all popped up. Do you have those in the UK?
Halloween what stores?
Spirit of Halloween?
I mean, we have Halloween. It's not a big deal, though.
Yeah.
It's observed by a few people.
Remind me to tell you the story about Ivan Abajev on Halloween.
Okay. I mean, what better time than now? I mean, let's watch this lift. But
we'll have to save it for off air.
Oh, okay. All right. It's one of those ones. They are already serving pumpkin spiced drinks here in Riyadh. I saw them today in the Starbucks.
118 Jensen. She stayed here at 18. Made the same weight.
Wow, that's a shock. The 115 in the back room looked so easy.
That's Oh, sorry, she didn't take 118 in the back. She took 15.
Yeah.
It looked comfortable, but that's definitely not the way you want to enter into a competition in the clean and jerk, to miss on the recovery of the clean.
No, and there's nobody else who's within even 5 kilos,
Yeah,
so
she's stuck.
She'll have to follow herself.
You know, potentially, too, we see that a lot. Potentially, that's not necessarily an issue of the absolute strength of the legs. You know, she probably can stand up with that. The key here for her is that she has to have a little bit better turnover in the clean, more velocity going into the hole, and catch a much faster rebound so she can pass that sticking point, or at least move the sticking point up high enough that she can overcome it.
Right.
There's her coach giving her some words of advice.
Well, I mean, really, it's stay further back in the pool.
Yeah.
But, you know, she looks so good in the back room that I wonder if it's, you know, a case of you come out onto the competition platform and there's nothing in front of you, really, that's within sort of 20, 30 meters that you're going to be able to look at. So your focal point is so different. And oftentimes your balance can just get lost with it.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like, it could be that it just looks way off, but you know, a minor issue, small correction, this could be a very comfortable lift for her. So 45 seconds left. She approaches the bar. Really watch for the end of the pull, how much more aggressive she can be on the turnover and racking. Much better. There it is.
Watch the power jack. So easy.
Yeah, there she is.
You know, it's basically fingertip stuff with that jerk position. You know, she doesn't really get much of a grip on the bar. But a lot of power in the legs.
Yeah. Yeah, very solid. Well, she's on the board now, so she's probably going to follow herself again, though, because you know, she's only got 118 here. The next smallest increase would be to 123. Potentially a big jump for her.
So will she? She's going to have to follow herself again, really, isn't she?
I mean, if they do call for 23 here, that would, you know, potentially give her a little bit more time because they'll have to change the weights. And then if Adeshbayeva bumps, she's not caught off guard. But no, she's coming out.
No, she will, yeah.
Yeah. Smart move.
Yeah, not a lot of rest. She looks very calm and relaxed, cheerful as she walks out.
Seconds left. If she can give that same energy at the end of the pull, catch a great bounce, she should be able to stand with this.
Cut the pull a little bit short,
she
but
fights
she's
through.
Ground up. You know, her jerk looks so comfortable in the second attempt. No wonder. It's actually amazing that she can get that to arm's length. I think it's a slow lockout, unfortunately.
See if that's reds.
I think it will
be. 3 reds. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But it's great effort, nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to challenge that. They'll just take that.
Well, it's still personal bests in both lifts. Prior to this, her best total, well, her only total was 215. That was a 223, and it was not far for 227, really.
Yeah. Adeshbayeva here. opening at 123. She had a rough go in the snatch, only making 101 on her opener.
Yeah, she was a little bit loopy on those snatches.
Oh, good clean for her. Solid jerk
very,
as well.
Very powerful.
Yeah. So that's a good lift. She will probably take the increase to get over that 125 mark so she can move ahead of Tetev Hakobian. You know, this is the game now where everyone is really going to be trying to position themselves so they can move ahead, position themselves so they have the best shot at taking a clean and jerk that would get them closer to a medal, both the clean and jerk and the total. So we'll see what she bumps to. Most likely going to be 125. Where did they go above that?
128.
128. Well, I think Hakobian moved to 128 as well.
Yeah.
So she had to go all the way up. That's a big jump, 5 kilos.
Next.
Hakobian now, the lifter, 128. Not the strongest in the snatch, only making 105.
Yeah, 105 is a bit of a, well, she's a career 105 snatcher, really. She's made that at the majority of her internationals as her best. This is a personal best for her. Wow.
Wow, yeah, very solid.
It's remarkable that that's only a personal best.
I don't think we expected that.
No, 127 was her
personal best.
That was 4 years ago.
She's made progress. Must have found something out here in those last 4 years if she was stuck there for a while.
Well, she'd not even been over 122 for a few years.
Wow.
It's a good lift.
So Ying-yuan has lowered her opener from 131 to 128. I think this is probably a smart move. She may just be trying to keep up with everyone and take what she needs. You know, she has a long lead in front of everybody, 5 kilos over second place. So she can just kind of chip away at those clean and jerks. She could win this. It is a worrisome, though. It's a bit worrisome when the athlete in second is opening 7 kilos above this.
Yeah.
Potentially. Ying-yuan.
Well, this will put her up at 240. Let's see how it looks.
Kicked it forward.
That's great.
Yep.
You know, she's getting better and better. She tends to train with Chen Wenhui, her 71-kilo teammate, who lifted spectacularly in the B session at this World Championships. And it used to be that Chen Wenhui was significantly stronger in the clean and jerk than Ying-yuan. And she may still be slightly stronger, but I'm not even sure if she is anymore. I mean, that 128, very comfortable. Certainly in the snatch now, she's surpassed her lighter teammate.
So Anastasiia now, her second at 128. She took a 5-kilo jump.
Yeah, that's a big leap. 5 athletes still yet to open.
Runs the clock down. Pretty good clean.
Yeah, that's
a
nice.
little bit tough on the way up, but
stumbling.
I think she may have gotten reds there.
Yeah, that right elbow, she held on to it, but that,
Yeah.
that adjustment with the feet just wobbled it.
Yeah, she's kind of in a tough spot again, right? She has nowhere to go to get any more rest, and she's going to have just the 2-minute clock. She's going to have to recover from that clean.
So let's take a look in the back room. 125 kilos was made by Moreno, who's wants 130 for her opening attempt. Same thing for Valdez from Chile, 125 also. Solfrid now up at 80 kilos. She was just playing around with 60 for a long time. Here she is now for Moreno. 125 she just made, his 130 for her opening attempt. You know, a lot of these athletes are looking at medals now in the total with Solfrid out of the running.
Yeah, you know, we saw her have a very frustrating snatch session. Missed her opener twice, finally making on her third. But here she maybe is given almost a second chance.
Yeah.
With Koanda out.
138 is her best.
Oh, very strong clean.
It's easy.
That was the jerk look.
Oh,
right
great
there with
footwork.
it. Yeah,
That's
she's
such a nice looking jerk.
She could be very dangerous here in this competition. She is 6 kilos behind first place in the snatch, but with a clean and jerk like that, she might be able to make that ground up. Yeinny here is the lifter, 130. She has snatched this in the past.
Right. Well, back in 2012 at the Olympic Games, weighing just 76 kilos, she clean and jerked 166 kilos. She was disqualified, however, for that performance.
Yeah.
And subsequently suffered a pretty long ban.
She's back now, though.
Back in reasonable fashion. Here's her 130 opener. This to be ahead of her teammate by 2 kilos. Oh, it's a very tough stand. A little off balance.
That's just not going to get there.
Yeah, technically that dip and drive looked just well off.
No lift. Focus, please, 130 kilos.
Yeah,
not ideal. Just a very jagged sort of dip and drive. Elbows not looking great.
So these are just openers still. We still have 3 athletes to take their opening lifts. First is going to be this athlete.
Yeah.
Maria Valdez from Chile.
Well, she's definitely in a battle for a bronze. Maybe a little bit too far behind Ying-yuan, who made that 112. Yeah, Valdez only ended up with 105. Years ago, she made 147 kilos. Recently, she's not been over 130, not for the last 5 years.
Strong clean, though. It's very solid. The jerk is powerful. Maybe we're seeing a bit of a resurgence here. She's touched 47 before. She's actually made it. She's going to be somewhat more confident with these bigger weights, but to be opening at that number, if that's basically the most she's done recently, that's solid. So, her Shidian. 130 on the bar still. Ripsmate is the lifter. Clock's running down. I'd be surprised if they make an increase from here. That last one wasn't particularly solid.
Well, even when she caught the clean, she was a little bit too far back on her foot, you know, driving through the heels.
Yeah, a little slow through the middle in the recovery. Maybe a better clean is going to be an easier jerk for her.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, all around better lift.
A really remarkable jerk that even a short dip, a slow drive, somehow, despite even having quite long arms, she gets to full extension very comfortably. So she's on the board.
So 1-3-1. I think right now we're going to start to see what we were talking about before, where everyone's gotten on the board. We have a few athletes really looking to jockey themselves into a position for a medal. This is where the competition's really going to start to flesh it out with these last few attempts.
Well, A-ram Jung is not on the board.
Right, that's true. She's the last to open. Well, before Koanda, but she's not in the running for a total.
So 240 still the leading total. Ying-yuan holds that. She's going to go for 133 soon to bump that up to 245. Makes things even more difficult for the Korean.
Adishbaeva took a 3 kilo jump after missing her second.
This is 8 kilos up on her opening make. It's very gutsy.
Pretty good clean though. Heavy, but she made it. Does she have the jerk?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that looked to be pretty good. 3 whites.
So, of course, Uzbekistan used to have a different 87-kilo athlete. It was Jabarova, Tursino Jabarova, who recently moved up to the super heavyweight category because, well, she wants to go to the Olympics. And she can't do that as an 87. She can't cut down to 81. She's just too tall. So she went up. She currently sits in 13th in the super heavyweights. But there are several athletes who will be removed from that list as they're actually not going to be going. Tatev Hakobian now. It's a big personal best. It's a strong clean.
Wow.
Yeah, she's just so far ahead of anything we've ever seen from her in the clean and jerk.
Very solid performance for her.
Yeah, after years of competition, to get this sudden increase is, you know, interesting to see. 105, 132 now. Very, very solid lifting. This is a great move, really, from Ying-yuan. The only person that she's really going to be eyeing up with any level of fear is going to be the Korean, who, you know, she might well be 5 kilos down in the snatch, but she still hasn't opened up. This lift, though, from Ying-yuan would put her up at 245, which would require just a colossal opening attempt in any number from A-ram Jung to move past her.
Yeah, this is a very strategic move. If she makes this, it really forces Jung's hand. Little hop forward.
Clean. It's tough to recover from.
Oh,
wow.
She's fighting,
about
but
as close as it gets.
that's a tough spot for her to be in. She's missed the second at 133. She really doesn't have a lot more in her. And
well, that 240 is probably going to be enough for a medal. It's just...
yeah, for sure she'll medal in total. Well, potentially.
Hopefully, yeah. It's
we say that nothing's for sure in this game. But wow, that really gives Jung a much more strategic place to be. Jung hasn't even opened yet.
No.
She lowered her open down to 134. I think she's going to want to take that.
Yeah, that's the right weight. That would put her at 241. That would give her the lead for now. You know, Ying-yuan basically showed her hand there and said, I'm basically at a maximum attempt here.
Yep.
133. This would put her at 238 and into second.
Big clean.
Yeah, all these athletes taking very strategic lifts here.
Oh, wow.
My word, that's got to be maximal, just the way that she did that.
I mean, she
Is that
caught
the shortest dip you've ever seen?
She caught that bar with the entire mass of her head behind it, and was able to get all the way back under it. Surely there can't be much more in that.
Looks like a seated bench press.
Yeah.
Somehow she held on to it.
Let's hope we get a side angle from that.
The side angle was just remarkable.
Wow. But it's a successful lift.
Yeah, so she gets up to 238. I don't know if she's got much more in her.
Yeah, that's
certainly not another 3 kilos, which is what she'd want to get ahead of Ying-yuan.
So Ying-yuan now taking the 33, hoping to make an improvement on that 240 total.
Yeah, if she doesn't, you know, then there's blood in the water, and everyone knows what they need. Whether or not they can get to it, I'm not convinced.
Yeah, there are so many. If she's unsuccessful here, this will be an aggressive fight in the clean and jerk, because everyone is within striking distance of 241.
You know, to hit 112 and then potentially only make 128 in the clean and jerk. Real snatch specialist.
She had a little bit of hop forward in the first attempt at this in the clean, and was very close in the jerk, just barely missing behind. She put a huge amount of distance between her and everyone else with this lift.
That's better, I think.
Better clean.
Not much easier. Got to hold on to this jerk. Oh, that is perfection. 133, and that's
3 whites. Wow.
Almost certainly guaranteed her a medal, and quite possibly the gold.
Yeah, it's really everyone else's game to lose now. She's 5 kilos above where she was.
Well, Jung would need 139.
Yeah.
Here she comes out now for her opening attempt, the final opener of an athlete in the running. You know, she is just so much better than we've seen her in the past. You know, she's only competed once 5 years ago at the Asian Junior Championships. She clean and jerked 115 kilos there.
I mean, this will tell us a lot.
Yeah.
What kind of shape is she? What kind of clean and jerker is she now? 134. Here's your 241 total.
Straight into silver with this.
Oh, very.
Oh, no. Oh, what a waste of an attempt.
That's just a totally amateur move there. She was hoping she was going to get the down signal, expecting the down signal.
Fighting for it.
She wasn't quite stood all the way up. Her knees weren't locked. I mean, that's just...
It's rookie.
Yeah, that's really not going to fly here.
She is actually extremely inexperienced internationally.
Yeah.
Never been on a platform like this before. Moreno now 134. This to move into second place. She currently sits in 4th. She needs to hit this.
She's been a very strong clean and jerk at 130 on her opener. Smart move here to go to 240.
Such strong legs. Oh, her jerk is honestly, positionally, it's a thing of absolute beauty.
That's a dangerous athlete there. She would need to take a 140 to move into gold, but she's locked in silver. Well, she's moved into silver now. Potentially could be upset by Kashidian here at 134. That would only give her 240 or 239.
That split jerk is just the spitting image of Andrea Bozidar's. The footwork.
Yeah, very similar.
So similar.
You know, Valdez, although we saw her jerk was a bit tough. So Jung here at 134.
Jung needs this.
She's just got to clean it up. It looked pretty comfortable.
It looked good.
You know, this would give her 241. Would move her into silver ahead of Moreno.
It's a good clean again. A little bit tougher. Okay, she's got to hold it this time.
There she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the lift she needed. A bit of a shame that she wasted that first attempt, but she's in a medal spot right now at 241.
So she has a third attempt she will use to take a shot at gold.
Well, you know, we're now in a position where these other athletes have almost waited a bit too long to the point now where they're going to need to lift too much on their third attempts to get into the medals. You know, Moreno, Kashidian,
interesting that
Kobian.
Yeah, Kashidian here now is taking the 34, probably looking for a medal in the clean and jerk.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see.
I don't actually know if that would be enough.
No, I don't think it will be.
Yeah, her last ones were pretty rough though.
She has such a bizarre jerk in terms of the depth of time, and we don't even get to see it. That looks heavy.
So currently we're sitting first place at 245, second 241, third 240.
Well, it's not the 294 we've seen with her previously, but she's on the board at 235.
A few 60 kilos behind that.
Yeah.
Three blues missing from that total.
Wow. Yeah. Just Leaf our bin. Missing off that lift.
His entire body.
Yeah. Valdez now. So what's...
She's probably just put this in...
No, I mean...
As a clean and jerk medal.
It's also a defensive, you know...
That's true.
She's in bronze, and she just...
Yeah, it's a bit odd. I'm surprised she didn't go for the 136. That would have given her a bronze over Moreno, at least temporarily. I mean, surely 1 kilo more wouldn't be that significant. We'll see. She's got a strong clean.
Really, she'd need 4 kilos. She'd need 137 to move ahead of Jung. This defends her a little bit better.
Wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
no, you are right.
Had she taken the 36, that would have put her into silver. Well, she got 2 reds.
Bronze.
Either way. Sorry, bronze.
Yeah,
either way.
As she lifted, I saw what you were saying.
Well, now it's fleshed out here. We have 3 attempts left that are going to decide.
What happened there with that jerk off?
I think she pressed it out.
Right.
Let's see.
Yeah,
wasn't there. They're challenging it, but that's...
it's just a waste of time.
I would put money on that getting overturned or getting upheld. We've seen so few of the challenge cards going the opposite direction of the refs. So Tatev making the attempt right now. Kobian's making the attempt at the 241. This would move her into bronze ahead of Colombia. Yep.
Yeah, she didn't get away with that one.
All right, so 136. Kobian for place it, well, to move into third place in the total. She's looked very good in the clean and jerk up until now. All of her lifts have basically been personal records in the clean and jerk. Now, too heavy.
Well, her Kobian's best was 127.
Yeah, that's a remarkable increase. I mean, you can't ask for a whole lot more than that.
No.
A 9-kilo PR would have been astonishing.
Okay, so right now, Ying-yuan is in the lead, 245. Jung in second at 241. And Moreno has guaranteed a medal also. So those three are guaranteed medalists in the total. Moreno is going to look to move into second.
Wow, Moreno's going all the way to 38.
That's surprising. I guess she's putting the pressure on Jung.
Yeah. Yeah, Jung is in the driver's seat here.
But then does Jung go to
Probably.
leapfrog back into second or to jump into first?
Well, she has the benefit of not needing to take the 38 first. So if Moreno is successful here, I would not be surprised to see Jung try to just overtake her.
Just go for the whole thing.
Yeah, if she's unsuccessful.
Yeah, even if Moreno makes this, Jung would only need 1 kilo more than this to just do the whole thing.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, 139 would do it.
Yeah, there's really no other weight to take. She's got a jerk. It's in the clean here if she can be successful.
Oh, that's
very
even
solid.
better clean. She gets the bounce. Wow. Oh, my word.
Huge lift.
What a lift. She could have gone up another kilo or two and just gone for the lead.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible. Look at that. The moment of her career.
She is currently in silver.
Yeah.
She's going to...
She's guaranteed a medal.
She's gonna get a medal for sure.
And wow, look at this. Jung's just going to go for the whole thing. She's going to go for the 246 to leapfrog Ying-yuan. She's in the third right now, and this lift will be for the lead.
This is a huge lift, 139. This gives her the gold medal in the total and the clean and jerk.
Well, she's been told, you know, make this and you're a world champion. 5 years after her international debut, the last time we even saw her, and she has a shot. I bet she didn't expect this. Nobody expected Solfrid to miss all of her snatches, and now we're going to see a new world champion. But who will it be? Right now, it's Ying-yuan. Jung has a chance to change that. Oh, it's a great fight.
It's the adjustment.
Oh, she can't do it.
Jerk is just not
Yeah,
there.
mistimed the dip and the drive, the bar, the oscillation was fighting against her. And so Ying-yuan from Taipei is the world champion with 245 kilos, a personal best in the snatch, equals the best in the clean and jerk, a new personal best in the total. Incredible stuff. And the silver will go to Moreno from Colombia, 244, bronze to Korea with A-ram Jung. And now the reigning world, well, I guess no longer reigning, the previous world champion, Solfrid Koanda, missed all her snatches, but she now has 3 attempts back-to-back in the clean and jerk.
Yep.
She hit 137 in the back room. We just saw that. She's opening quite light here.
She may only take this one lift for the medal.
It's possible.
I mean, only opening at 140.
Either that or
get the
because
medal.
She's following herself, she has to open light so that she doesn't fatigue too much with the jumps that she may well be taking. We'll see. She's just on another level in terms of her strength.
Easy jerk.
Yeah, you know, I would like to see her go again. I don't want it to end.
Yeah, you know, it's a bittersweet move.
That was so easy. That's a gold medal for Solfrid. And she, well, you know, you have to make lifts, but, you know, she's sort of gifted the gold medal away there to Taipei. But Taipei came in and lifted to a high level of her abilities, and Solfrid did hers. So,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, she deserves the gold. She lifted so well.
Probably going to take another one. She's resting.
I think she'll jump to 50.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
And then after that, does she do
56 maybe for a
56 for a personal record? Best?
Yeah. I mean, it's
what did we see in the...
I thought she did 55.
She did 55. What did we see in the 81s, though? It was...
58.
59.
No, 59. It was the world
record. So she might go for 160. She has
210
just
kilo
have a bit of a
jumps.
tendency of, you know, trying to stay ahead of what the top 81s are doing in the clean and jerk.
Yeah. You know, it's a question too, right? How much does she want to risk here? She want to try a really heavy clean and jerk when she knows already going into it, it's not going to really do anything for her. She's got the gold medal in the clean and jerk today.
Well, that looks comfortable.
Yeah.
So she is, well, she's going up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's asked for 145, but she has more changes that she can make.
The first change to 45 stops the clock. A change to 150 would stop it a little bit longer. They'd have to put the yellows on.
Yeah.
If she is going to try and buy time, that would be the move to do. Well, potentially she could bump one more time. 140.
No, I think she's going to. Yeah, no, 150.
Yeah, 150. Here we go.
That's what we came for.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we wanted to see the big 150 at the very least from Solfrid, and we get to see that now. Such an enormous lift.
You know, she's probably hating those loaders right now. Their speed.
Yeah, they're very quick.
It's not buying her very much time to stop that clock while they make an adjustment.
Well, she said that she has an ongoing injury since pre-Yerevan even. That's pre-European champs in April. She says she hasn't spoken much about that. She doesn't plan to. But the result of the injury is basically that she ought to stay up in the 87 kilo category rather than dropping down to 81. Just keep the body weight on, the muscle mass, keeps the body feeling a little bit healthier.
So there's 150. This lift is personal. 140 on her opener. Secured a gold medal in the clean and jerk. This is for her.
Yeah. It's very forward, but she's strong enough to save it. She made this in the training hall 2 weeks ago.
And again here.
Wow. You know, she has made that look easier than we've seen before.
You know, that limited rest probably took a lot out of her. I'm wondering if we're going to see her come out even for a third.
Well, if we look at her 5 competitions internationally at 87, her clean and jerks have gone as follows: 135, 141, 143, 147, 155. So it's her style to set records. She didn't get one in the clean and jerk, in the snatch for the first time in her career, so I think she'll come out again, Max.
Yeah, it's very possible.
I think she'll tidy up that clean.
Yep, they're
making some sort of changes. We'll see what it is. 51 was the automatic increase. She sat there. I think she's going to do
she's
60.
Waiting. 60 would be absolutely enormous. A 10-kilo jump after the way that one looked would be a heroic attempt. Let's see what we see on
55 first, I reckon.
Yep. 54.
Wait, 64? 64 is the world.
Is that a
50s?
6 or a 5?
Surely it's a 5.
It's a Norwegian 5?
Well,
it's a 5, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think she goes for 56 is my guess for the personal record.
I wonder if anyone's accidentally written the wrong number before that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it
must have happened.
You know, accidentally you're going out for a world record that you didn't intend on taking.
Yeah.
So 54 for now, but we'll see what next. She's getting up. She's got a minute on the clock. There'll be a bit of a stop.
Yep.
What's
Here we go.
56.
Yep.
Okay. So it's 56. It's going to be a personal best. It's 1 kilo more than she made in Yerevan. It's an enormous lift. And when we asked her how training had been and what her best ever lift was, she did say it was the 155 from Yerevan. So this is the most weight that Solfrid Koanda has ever put from the ground to overhead. It's a massive moment, not just in the session, but in her career, in her life. A new personal record for the 2022 world champion.
.156, a new record for Koanda, personal record here. So better than the second attempt.
Still a little bit off balance. Re-racks it. Oh, that's
she's fighting it,
amazing.
Holding it. Incredible balance there. Wow.
So much upper body strength to just hold on to that, you know. The bar was moving over to the side. She gave absolutely everything for that lift, and she made it. Solfrid Koanda 3 for 3 in the clean and jerk. Missed all of her snatches. If she'd made her opening attempt, she'd have a 271 total, wow. I believe, which would be a...
it would have been a kilo more than last year's
yeah.
world champion in the 81s.
Yeah, so not the session that she'd hoped for, of course, but at least she's been able to show that she is still getting stronger with that massive lift. But a new world champion on our hands. It's Ying-yuan from Taipei. Personal bests there, 112, 133, a 245 kilo total for Ying-yuan. Prior to this competition, she was coming off the back of 2 wins internationally. She's now got 3 in a row. She won at the Asian Championships. She won at the Grand Prix. She's won again here in Riyadh. You know, if someone said to you there's going to be an athlete from Taipei becoming world champion, you'd believe it, but you wouldn't have believed that it was her. You'd have thought it would be Kuo Sing-chun.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little interesting thing going on there. The silver medalist, 244, it's Moreno from Colombia, and then bronze, 241 kilos to Jung from Korea, 107, 134. Great lifting all round. And you know what? Sometimes we like to see an upset. Sometimes it's fun to see an athlete get a gold medal that you didn't expect.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be it from us today. There are no more sessions, but we will, of course, be back tomorrow. We have 2 A sessions. It's the, I think, first. We have the women's plus 87. I'll just confirm the order of our A session tomorrow. Yep, plus 87 tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. local time. After that, we have the men's 109s. Absolutely stacked sessions. That plus 87 kilo category will be so very exciting. You don't want to miss either of those ones. We'll keep this going. You can watch as Taipei stands atop the podium. But from me and Max, we'll speak to you tomorrow.